Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Los Angeles Clippers MyNBA series here on NBA 2K24, where today we are going to finish up the regular season and see what happens to our Los Angeles Clippers in the post-regular season, see if we make the playoffs, see if we make the play-in tournament, or see if we don't make anything at all. So if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more basketball content, as I'm still not sure if I want to continue this for a year 3. So let me know in the comment section below, is this something you'd like to see? But today, we're going to wrap up our final regular season showcase game against the San Antonio Spurs, led by, of course, Victor Wembanyama, the number 1 overall pick just a couple years ago. And this is a pretty big matchup for these two squads because we sit 38-41 as the 8th seed currently, while the San Antonio Spurs are 39-40 and currently the 7th seeds. They are one game better than us, so we could see this matchup again in the play-in tournament, as Wembanyama finally makes his way to center court and he wins the tip-off for the Spurs, and we are underway. Los Angeles Clippers are wearing the blacks here tonight. Their city editions. Their court is Nashon Highland, James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Ivica Zubac, while the Spurs are led by Jevon Carter, Devin Vassell, Aaron Nesmith, Miles Bridges, and Victor Wembanyama, who just made the first points of the ballgame. Now, the Clippers currently with it. Here's Leonard driving inside. Their first possession is going to end in an alley-oop as Ivica Zubac throws it down from the assist from Kawhi Leonard. And both teams will convert on their first possession. There's Jevon Carter with it now at the top of the key. Over to Miles Bridges, who takes the 3 ball, and it's going to be off the mark. Rebounded by the Clippers. As Leonard up now, he actually gets intercepted by Victor Wembanyama in the passing lane. And Wemby's going to take it to the rack and get an and 1. And he will head to the free throw line. Heads up play by the 2023 number 1 overall pick from France, as he has the first 5 points of the day for the San Antonio Spurs. Kawhi Leonard now still nursing that injury. He's got a little bit of a hip injury that he's still playing through, as Leonard's going to drive inside. He's actually going to initiate his own contact on Wembanyama and get an and 1. You can see that hip still bothering him a little bit with these games on the line. Got to play through injuries like that as he ties us up at 5 apiece. Wembanyama now will be met by Zubac at the top of the key, as Wemby tries to drive right side, fades away, and he knocks it down. It's perfect shooting to start the night for Wembanyama, averaging 23 points per game, named to his first All-Star game of this year, as he's really stepping into his role as that unicorn like some people thought he would. As here's Highland driving inside on Carter, finds Zubac, who gets swatted at the rim. Wemby sends that one packing right into the arms of Carter, as he will push the pace now, being met by Highland. Over to Nesmith, right side. Aaron Nesmith inside. Tried to feed it into his teammate Vassell, but Leonard with the interception finds George down the court, and that's an easy 2 points for the Clippers. Fast-paced action here to begin this game. Both teams handsy on defense, pushing the pace when they can in transition. And because of that, through 2 minutes, we're tied up at 7 apiece. Here's Vassell with it, who had a 20-plus point game in the Spurs' last win, as there's a missed shot by Miles Bridges. Leonard corrals the rebound over to Highland now, crosses his man up, tries to get to the basket, draws a double, is going to pull it back out, reset the offense. Over to George, who's been sensational for the Clippers in the month of March into April. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Leonard trying to back down on Bridges. 2 now, fades to his left, puts it up, can't get it to go. Rebounded by the Spurs. Carter now over to Wembanyama. He's got George on him this possession. Wemby just such a height mismatch. Fades away from 3, though. It's not the shot I'd have him taking. He misses. George does corral the rebound. Crosses a man up. Feeds Leonard inside. Tries to get to Highland, and maybe a little too late. He had a path, but unfortunately, a little bit of a late pass results in a missed shot. And now on the other end, Nesmith at the free throw line misses. Zubac now with the rebound. And now the Clippers pushing the pace. Both teams foot on the gas pedal as Harden takes a 3 and it's off the mark. And back we go the other way. Wembanyama himself over to Carter. And he looks to slow it down momentarily. As here comes the screen. Nope, doesn't get one from Wembanyama. Instead gets it from Bridges. Drives right side. Harden gets by the screen. Carter with the right hand kisses it off the glass. Javon Carter gets on the board. He had 12 points in the win on Tuesday against the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is a big win for the Spurs because OKC is the best team in the Western Conference this year. Speaking of OKC, a couple of OKC players on the court now for the Clippers. Harden passed to George as George looks to lob it up for Zubats, but a little bit of miscommunication results in a traveling. You can see the power rankings here. We are currently in the middle of the pack. We'll have to see what stands for the Clippers, as they're probably going to make the play-in tournament. We have to lose all of our games, and the Nuggets have to win all of our games for us to miss the play-in tournament. Obviously, we'd like to not be in that position, but that's also looking pretty grim. So, Clippers are mostly just fighting for seeding in terms of that play-in tournament. Do they only got to win one game? Do they got to win two? Do they got to do it at home? Do they got to do it on the road? So, these are big games for LAC, as there's the first miss of the night for Wembanyama, but unfortunately, the Clippers have gone over 2 minutes without scoring the basketball, and it's going to continue here. Highland gets bumped out of bounds as Javon Carter forces a turnover, and there's where these two teams stand in terms of the playoffs in the Western Conference. As we'll inbound the ball, Spurs currently host a 9-7 lead. Quickly over to the hands of Wembanyama. And he's going to isolate Zubats. Wemby very much quicker than the big man. He gets right to the rack. Wembanyama nearly unstoppable, nearly going as the Clippers call a timeout. And we go to the end of the first quarter where it's a close matchup. The Spurs lead at 27-26. As we'll go now at 9 minutes, 38 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Spurs lead now up to 5. This is 35-30. Here's George with the basketball. Trying to drive inside on Nesmith, backing him down. Fights his way in. He's going to miss a wild shot. Ends up into the hands of Jeremy Sochan as he's going to go to the corner. Here's Nesmith. Now over to Carter. Pass inside. Wembanyama still on the court. He's got Blake Griffin on him, and Wemby's just too tall, man. Almost unguardable is Victor Wembanyama. Pretty much automatic tonight unless he's taken a three. Is this the one spot he's been able to not connect on tonight? Both teams really struggling shooting the three ball early. Clippers have not actually hit one from downtown. As here's Morris trying to do that here, but he can't. A little too strong. And Wembanyama easily gets the rebound over Blake Griffin. Quickly up the courts to Kobe White, and he's going to hit a nice floater. The former Chicago Bull, him and Javon Carter came over before the season began from a trade with the Bulls, as the Spurs now on a 12-4 run and have ballooned their lead up to 9. But George trying to drive inside. He's going to get hacked by Sochan. That'll send PG-13 to the line. Having another good game here tonight, up to 16 points already in the first half. And George still leading the way. He's going to push it to 17. Gets it back down to a 7-point deficit, but the Clippers want to come back in this game. They got to stop this man. As Wembanyama again gets right to the rack. A beautiful hop step. Keep in mind, this man's over 7 feet tall, and he's doing moves like that. Absolutely incredible. He's averaging almost 22 points per game on the road, 11.8 rebounds. You know, he's the reigning Rookie of the Year for a reason. And he's taking that next step up in his sophomore campaign. As here's B.J. Boston coming off an 18-point performance in the loss to Portland. He can't get it to go at the rack. Spurs quickly push the pace. Nesmith from 3 is no good, but Wembanyama with the box out gets the offensive board. And the Spurs now lead by double digits, as whether it's Zubats, Blake Griffin, or anybody on transition, nobody's been able to guard Wemby. Here's Highland with it, tries to drive left side. Beautiful defense from Carter. Draws a double. Morris hacks up a 3, and again, they can't get it to go. Spurs again with the rebounds. The Clippers are gone ice cold from the field. As Sochan finds a cutting Wembanyama, just too quick for Zubats. Zubats one of the slowest players in the game. Another 2 points for Victor. And it's now a 13-point lead as the Clippers seem to be on their back foot here. George screen left side. Tries to drive on Wembanyama. Dishes it in for Zubats. Right hook, too strong. Rebound Spurs. As Victor in the zone. As here's Nesmith Jr. getting into the paint. Gets right around Highland. Finds Carter cutting to the basket. He goes up with it, too strong. And it's rebounded by Highland. Pass now over to George. George trying to drive his way inside. Meets the defense and actually loses the ball. Nesmith picks the pocket of PG, and he's going to get inside, dish it out for Wembanyama. Long 2, connects nothing but the bottom of the net. Clippers have to call timeout. As we will go to halftime now, the Spurs take over in the second quarter. Thanks to that man right there, 58-38. The Clippers are going to the half trying to find an answer for Victor Wembanyama. We'll go into the second half of this one. We'll just skip the halftime show. It's been all the Victor Wembanyama show in the first half of this one as the Clippers try to get back into this contest. Starting off with the basketball, Highland shoots it from 3, and he can't get it to go. Again, still have not hit a three-pointer for the Clippers, as it's been an over from downtown. We'll see how the first possession for the Spurs go. It looks like it's going to go much the same as this Wembanyama driving inside on Zubac. No, he gives it up this time. Over to Nesmith for 3. He can't connect either. Clippers have not made a three-pointer, but the Spurs have not done much better, under 30% from it downtown. As here's over to Harden on the left side, trying to work his man isolation. And he's going to take the step back 3. That doesn't work. Zubac with the rebound, but there's an offensive foul. Pushed off, it looks like, on Kawhi Leonard. As you can see some of the highlights from the Spurs defense. 58-38 currently your score. As here's Carter with the basketball. One player that you haven't seen on the court tonight is Desmond Bane. He's currently nursing an injury. He is not going to be in for this one. They're trying to get him back healthy for the postseason, as Desmond Bane earlier in the year tied a franchise record in three-pointers in a single game against us. So we're kind of happy to not be seeing him. Unfortunately, it hasn't resulted in much better for us, as there's a beautiful Euro step inside by Bones Highland. Fooled the big man Wembanyama, got him airborne. Not that Wemby really has to jump against Highland, but Highland takes advantage and gets inside. Wembanyama takes another 3. He's still at 0 from downtown, rebounded by Kawhi Leonard. And now the Clippers trying to get something going here. You can see Wembanyama 31 points here tonight, 15-25 shooting. If you take away his three-pointers, he's shooting up over 80%. Here's Harden for 3. He can't get it to go. Too strong. Leonard, though, with the rebound, and he puts it back. Kawhi Leonard, a former San Antonio Spur, before that big divorce happened with the team. But Greg Popovich no longer in San Antonio. This team now coached by Frank Vogel. His first year with the San Antonio Spurs, as Devin Vassell from a long 2 is off the mark. Rebounded by George. Vassell 10 points here tonight. Not as good as it was against the Thunder the other night. As Leonard now with it, has Wemby on him, hands it back off for George. He's going to try to back down Carter, the much smaller defender. It draws a double, leaves Highland wide open from 3, and again, they can't connect. You're not going to get much better opportunities than that. And again, Los Angeles cannot capitalize, but the Spurs can. Taking advantage of the slow speed of Zubac is Miles Bridges, the former Charlotte Hornet, who's been on fire for the Spurs recently. Past 5 games, Bridges is averaging 25 points a game, as he's actually going to get a foul call there. That'll send, looks like, Leonard to the line for 2 free throws and knocks down the first. Second free throw from the Claw is up and in as well. And we're back down to a 16-point game. 9:20 to go in the third quarter. As the Spurs offense has looked unstoppable through their big man. But Carter loses the basketball, gets it back, finds a wide open Vassell from 3, but it's no good. Both teams struggling from beyond the arc. As on the other end, Harden gets right to the basket, and he gets a layup. And a beautiful transition offense there by the Clippers is James Harden, the former NBA MVP, cuts it to a 14-point game. Wembanyama now with it. You can see the Clippers have made an adjustment. Leonard is currently guarding Wemby, trying to stick our best defensive man on their best offensive weapon as it works here. But unfortunately, Wemby just too tall, gets his own rebound, puts it back in. Even if he doesn't get it the first time, he's going to get it the second. Clippers call timeout. We'll go a little bit later in the third quarter. 5:13 here to play. As off the inbound, Zubac with good hands gets the ball to him. Swats it back off of the inbounder. And that's a nice defensive play by Zubac. Don't see that very often. 66-52, a 14-point game. Leonard also currently in takeover mode for the Clippers. He's had himself a pretty solid third quarter. He's off the screen. He finds George for 3, and he hits it. That's the first three-pointer of the game for the Los Angeles Clippers. Finally, they hit one. Came with 5 minutes left to play in the third, but hey, it cuts it into an 11-point game. Paul George off of the assist from Kawhi Leonard. Is now defensively. George has Vassell under the basket. He gets the defensive play, but unfortunately George goes down. Oh no, a big injury for the Clippers as they call timeout. We'll go to the end of the third quarter, where it's currently an 8-point game in favor of the Spurs, now up to 13. And yes, Paul George will not return to this game. That could be a huge blow for the Clippers right in time for the postseason, as Leonard knocks one down from straight away center, his first three-pointer of the night. Leonard's up to 26. Back to George. It looks like it could be a knee injury, as they already have Leonard nursing an injury. Covington is also out with an injury, and they could be missing Paul George as well. Not the time to get the injury bug to strike. We've been pretty fortunate this year with George and Leonard staying healthy, but it could be fading down the stretch. Could be more of the same narrative, as George is actually on the court now, so he has returned to this game, playing through the injury, still trying to take his man isolation, despite the doctor saying he should probably rest. He misses that shot there, though. As Miles Bridges now with it. One of the best attackers in the NBA. Javon Carter now at the top of the key over to Wembanyama, just too fast for Morris, just creates the space and hits again nothing but the bottom of the net. 90 points for the Spurs here tonight. Wembanyama has 41 of those. The rest of the team has 49. Just an absolute sensation, as here's Highland with it over to Zubats. Much smaller Carter on him. Instead gives it up for Highland. Back over now to George. Screen left side. Paul levels it up for Zubats, and he's going to kiss it off the glass. Nice alley-oop there by the Clippers. Still down by 10. Still trying to stay with this one, but with only 4 minutes to go, could be time running out, as that is a beautiful court pass. Wembanyama again takes advantage. 12-point game, 43 on the night now for Wemby. Spurs, well, the Clippers, mind you, have had no answer for the Spurs big man. Here's Highland, right side, gets a little bit of space from three. He can't get it to go. Maybe a desperation attempt there. Wembanyama now has Highland on him. Instead takes the three. That's been our one shot that Wemby has not been able to hit tonight, is the three ball. I'd be happy with him continuing to take those. But instead, here's Leonard backing it up. 3:30 left to play. George left side. Here comes the screen from Leonard. The two banged up men trying to play a little bit of pick and roll, and George can't get it to go. Rebounded by Wembanyama. He's going to take it himself. Leonard there to meet him. Finds Neesmith left side for three. He can't get it to go. Rebounded by the Claw. Up to Highland now. He's going to stop, pop, try to take the three. He can't get it to go as well. Clippers have only hit 2 3-pointers here today, so it's just not been an ideal game for LAC. The shooting has not been there. As there's Wembanyama a little too strong on the fader to his right. Still a 12-point game. 3 minutes left to play in this one. Time just seems to be running out for the Clippers, as Highland off of the screen. Can't get any separation. Finds George in the corner. Screen again. He gets to the basket. He does put it up and in. So now a 10-point game, as George seems to be hustling fine, despite the nagging injury, which we'll find out at the end of this one. Vassell drives left side on George, and he gets right to the rack. He'll put it up and in. Clippers will call timeout, so we'll go to the end of this one. The Spurs win it by a final score of 101-93. Wembanyama, the absolute player of the game by an absolute mile. We were led by Leonard's 28 points and 20 rebounds, and George put 26, but we only had 6 people score in this game. Just not a good team effort. While on the other end, Wembanyama did put up 45 and 21. I did play with a new slider set in this one, and I thought it was okay. I just thought maybe the 3-pointers could have been better, but just wanted to give it a shot. In terms of the injury, Paul George strained his left MCL. It's a 1 to 2 week injury, so he's done for the regular season, and should be hopefully ready for the postseason. Now, fortunately for us, the Nuggets did lose to the Mavericks, so that means we have officially clinched the play-in tournament. So now it just depends where are we going to be at in that regard. Well, we lose the next game to the Warriors, who are another potential play-in team, 106-84. Steph Curry back in the lineup. He dropped 30, while DeMar DeRozan also dropped 21 on us. Getting to the next game is the Thunder. I couldn't show the box score just because when you simulate the last game, it goes straight to the postseason. But we do beat the Thunder in the last game, 127-113. That means we've gotten the 10th seed. So we're the last play-in team. We were just the 8th. And with that, we're going to be having a rematch against Golden State. And it's a win-or-go-home scenario at the Chase Center. So a big-time matchup here for the Clippers. We haven't done ourselves any favors down the stretch. And, well, we got to win 2 on the road now, including against a team that just beat us by 18 points. Steph currently back healthy with the Warriors. DeMar DeRozan is now out there. That's going to be a tough matchup for us. As far as the East playing, we're going to see the Pacers the 7, the Wizards the 8, and the Hornets the 9, and the Bulls the 10. And then for us, the other playing matchup in the West is the 7 Spurs against the 8 Suns. But we got to worry about the Warriors, and you'll be seeing that one in the next episode. So let me, guys, if you're excited for that one and you enjoyed this episode, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more basketball content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.